Hey Latest Hoops family, welcome back to another awesome video brought to you by us here at Latest Hoops. Today we're taking a look at some of the stars of the NBA who humbled themselves and stepped away from the glitz and glam of millionaire living to work regular day jobs, either by choice or out of necessity. We're going to give you insight on some of the weird and wonderful everyday jobs some of the stars of the league have had while also being among the brightest stars in the league. But first, we're going to give you an opportunity to win an awesome prize courtesy of the team here at Latest Hoops. We're giving away a brand new PS5 with NBA 2K21 and Madden NFL 21 included for free. All you have to do for a chance to win this awesome prize is like this video and leave a comment letting us know who you think had the best day job. Once that's done, subscribe to our channel, Latest Hoops, and turn on notifications. When you're done with all that, you're in, and you could walk away with that shiny new PlayStation 5. Now that you're up to speed on that awesome giveaway, let's get into some of the surprising faces from around the league who've worked regular day jobs over the course of their NBA careers. And there's no better place to start than with a man whose nickname is itself an everyday job. Karl Malone, aka the Mailman. Karl Malone is the second highest scorer in NBA history. He's made more than enough money to never have to work another day in his life. However, Malone famously dove right back into working life pretty quickly after wrapping up what is one of the greatest careers the NBA has ever seen. The power forward, who is a Utah Jazz legend, invested the money he made throughout his illustrious NBA career in several different businesses and franchises throughout the country. One of which, a trucking business, became a little more than an investment to the Mailman. Guess the NBA great couldn't help but keep delivering off the court as well as on it. It turns out Karl Malone regularly drives for a trucking company he owns, which he set up in Utah after ending his NBA career in 2004. However, the trucking business isn't the only one of the many businesses Malone owns that he tries his hand at and gets involved in on a regular basis.
Hello everyone, I'm Karl Malone, the new owner of Karl Malone Toyota of Ruston.
The second highest scorer in league history also has a car dealership which he co-owns with longtime trusted associate Andy Madsen. Madsen said of Malone that he often comes down to the dealership and interacts with staff, goes out on the floor and closes deals with customers, and more. In fact, the employees of the dealership have fondly nicknamed him Disneyland Dad because he's out there having fun and doing nice things for our employees. Malone's brother once said to him that he'd never work again if he'd made the kind of money the Mailman has, but that's just not how Karl Malone rolls. Karl Malone isn't the only superstar NBA figure to get himself a day job either. Now, we can't confirm this, but given the fact that James Harden showed up as a shape for preseason rather than in shape as he was supposed to, we can only assume he's been employed as a taste tester for one of the bigger fast food franchises in America.
James Harden definitely had a pregame meal, averaging 17 points per game over the last 4.
How else do you explain the cooking celebration? It's either that or Rick Ross is paying him to be his stunt double for some reason we have yet to figure out. Now, of course, we're joking. Harden has been rolling. We mean on a roll this season, and has shrugged off his early fitness struggles to return to the elite level of offensive production we know him for. One NBA star who has gotten involved in the fast food industry, however, is the king himself, LeBron James. LeBron James famously invested in the Blaze Pizza franchise in the mid-2010s. Since making that initial $1 million investment, the king has seen his share of the company grow to be worth $35 million. Pretty shrewd business move from LeBron James, we must admit. However, he did more than just invest in the company. James famously became an employee in a Blaze Pizza franchise for a day, posing as Ron, the employee, and feigning ignorance when people asked him who he was or said he looked familiar.
All right. Oh, no, I'm Ron. I don't know who LeBron.
James even went so far as to pretend he didn't know what basketball was to protect his identity.
He looks like Dwayne.
Dwayne Wade? I get that a lot. I've heard of that guy too. What is that on your chest? Is that a golf ball?
No, it's basketball.
Oh, that's a basketball.
Yeah.
What's
Basketball, man. I keep telling him he's gotta try basketball.
No, I don't know that. Is that when the referee holds up through the goalpost?
That's football.
Though from the clips of his time in the franchise, it doesn't look like he fooled many people. LeBron also donned the employee uniform of the franchise to walk the streets giving away free pizza to passerbys, promoting the franchise as he went. He may not have stuck at it for very long, but for all intents and purposes, we think LeBron made a pretty good employee. Besides, being a stockbroker is technically an everyday job, and LeBron clearly knows a thing or two about investing given his return from Blaze Pizza. However, if you're after something more blue-collar and grassroots than LeBron's short expedition into the world of fast food, we've got just the thing for you. Remember Darko Milicic, that Serbian guy who was drafted ahead of the likes of Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, David West, and Boris Diaw?
When you got Carmelo Anthony out there, man, it was hard to pass up on him. I think I had the same reaction everybody else had, and that was...
Well, yeah, turns out he's a dab hand at farming. which is probably a good thing considering he was one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Milicic, who is the youngest player to ever have played in an NBA Finals game and to have won an NBA championship, was drafted second overall in 2003 by the Detroit Pistons.
With the second pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Darko Milicic from Serbia and Montenegro.
His NBA career was massively underwhelming given the hype that surrounded him coming into the league. However, fortunately for him, he's managed to pick up a day job he's apparently rather good at. The Serbian used the wealth he made in his NBA career to buy an apple farm for $8 million and become an apple farmer. The former center has 125 acres of land filled with apple trees and is supposedly entirely focused on them and not on the negativity surrounding his NBA career. In fact, he's rumored to harbor ambitions of moving into cherry farming. But you didn't hear such controversial things from us if anyone comes asking. Truth be told, we are very happy to hear that the Serbian giant was able to move on from his much maligned time in the league. As far as day jobs go, there are worse things to do than own a giant plot of land and export apples. Milicic isn't the only former league player to continue working after he retired, though his exploits are far more honest and humble than those of Shawn Kemp. The Supersonics great reportedly opened a restaurant and bar called Oscars. He opened Oscars in Seattle, and the restaurant features a Mediterranean-inspired menu. The bar's name is reportedly taken from a former pet fish Kemp had as a child, and Kemp can often be found there talking to customers and taking photos. The bar also has a reportedly popular happy hour featuring $4 drinks and appetizers. It's not entirely clear how much of a role Kemp plays in the day-to-day running of the restaurant, but owning it and marketing it is as close to a day job as some NBA stars are ever likely to get. So we're giving him the benefit of the doubt and throwing him in with the rest of the everyday workers featured in this video. There seems to be a recurring theme with former Sonics players and day jobs, because Vin Baker, a former Sonics player who isn't quite the household name Shawn Kemp was, but still a more than competent player in his own right, also joined the food and hospitality sector after he stopped playing in the league. Baker hopped from team to team throughout his time in the NBA, but still made 4 consecutive All-Star games with the Milwaukee Bucks and Seattle Supersonics in the late 1990s. All told, he spent 13 seasons in the league before hanging up his boots and returning to everyday life. Baker is now an assistant coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, the team who drafted him when he first joined the league.
With the 8th pick in the 1993 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Vin Baker.
However, before returning to the league as a coach, the Olympic gold medal winning power forward was just an average Joe working in the home of the Cup of Joe, Starbucks. Unlike many others in this video, Baker's return to the working world wasn't entirely by choice. Vin Baker suffered from serious addiction issues off the court, often drinking and taking pills such as Xanax and Librium to distract him from the present.
Before I knew it, I was dependent. I had to drink. I didn't realize that, I'd crossed over into a really dark place of, this is no longer recreational drinking. This is something that my body absolutely needs to function. I'd become an alcoholic in the midst of my prime.
Those habits are often considered contributing factors to the sharp decline of his promising NBA career. Baker eventually managed to clean up his act, but by that stage he had blown almost all of the $100 million he had earned in his time in the NBA. He became a Starbucks barista as part of an attempt to clean up his act and turn his life around. The regular working job was just the breath of fresh air the former All-Star needed. Fortunately, the Sonics owner, Howard Schultz, was the former CEO of Starbucks and helped Vin Baker get back on his feet. Baker took a management training course and then started overseeing a Starbucks franchise in Connecticut. Eventually, Baker found his way back into the NBA in a coaching capacity, but not before he rediscovered the joys of day-to-day life and shrugged off the demons that haunted him through so many years of his time in stardom.
Being in the ministry, being in the coaching, I couldn't ask for a better situation right now.
Now, we're sure many of you will be aware that Vin Baker is far from the only NBA star who has struggled with such demons. One player who instantly comes to mind for his recent appearances in basketball news is former Dallas Mavericks player Delonte West. West has battled with several issues away from the court that have seen him plunge from the giddy heights of NBA stardom to the lowest of the low, to the point that he was recently spotted begging for handouts on the street.
You hit him.
Man, I walked down the street. The man approached me with a gun.
Where's his gun at?
I don't give a...
West's decline is a result of his constant struggles with bipolar disorder, an issue he was open about almost a decade before resurfacing in the media in recent months. When videos began surfacing online of West being beaten in the street and afterwards sitting on the pavement rambling incoherently, the NBA world was quick to voice their concern. Fortunately, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban stepped in to help. Cuban took West off the streets and put him in a rehab facility. Drug abuse is a well-documented escape mechanism for those suffering with mental illness. and West had turned to substance abuse to escape the demons he had been suffering since leaving the league. Fortunately, he made great progress at the rehab facility. So much so, in fact, that same facility has now offered Delonte West a job which he has accepted. West is now working for the rehab facility in Florida and is reportedly vastly improved and has grown close with his family again since being reunited with them. West's story is truly heartbreaking, but the fact that it looks to have had a happy ending brings a smile to the faces of NBA fans across the world, including those of us here at Latest Hoops. An honest day's work can do wonders for one's well-being, and Delonte West's remarkable recovery is a testament to that. Also, while we're on the subject, shout out to Mark Cuban for being a top-notch human being and going out of his way to help a man in need.
Got his number, left a message for him, and he didn't call me back for a few days. Then he called me back, and I told him, Delonte, don't move. I'm coming to get you, and that's what I did. Went and got him a hotel room, let him sleep it off, went and got him some food, and sat there waiting for his mom to get there and waited with him. And then she got him on the plane and got him to rehab, and he's making progress. I just hope he stays with it. The first couple of weeks are tough, but I going through rehab and dealing with addiction, that's not easy, and dealing with mental illness, that's not easy. And so I hope he fights his way through it.
Thanks for watching another Latest Hoops video. Be sure to like and comment on this video, as well as subscribing to our channel for your chance to win that brand new PS5. We'll be back soon with more must-see NBA content. Until then, stay safe and keep ballin', Hoops fans. I'll catch you guys in the next one.